Want to assist in the building of Jamaica land we love? Well, buy Jamaican. Continue to support our local farmers, manufacturers and artisans. Hello and welcome to another edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Adrian Atkinson. On today's show, we'll take a look at what makes Jamaica's food so scrumptious, plus some of the warning signs to safeguard yourself and your loved ones from an increasingly common form of modern-day slavery. All that and much more after this short break. Stay with us.
Sweet Jamaica is now on the move. Help me with my song and let the people them come sing along. Take up your cutlass, a shovel and your hoe. Take up your books, them people let us go. Call out the youth.
Sweet Jamaica, we not left ya. Tough yam and banana, we not left ya.
Finger licking jerk chicken, Helsha fish and bami, we run down yam and banana, roast bread fruit, sweet potato pudding. Jamaica food sweet. This November is Eat Jamaican Month, so let's make a pledge to use more local produce and less foreign goods. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow.
Sweet Jamaica, we not left ya.
Good day, I'm Samantha Allen and this is your GIS News for Monday, November 18. Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller has made a commitment to the Haitian president to continue to express Jamaica's grave concern in international fora over the Dominican Republic's recent constitutional ruling regarding citizens of Haitian descent. The Dominican Republic's Constitutional Court on Nationality retroactively modified legislation that bestowed citizenship on persons born in that country between 1929 and 2010. In a joint communique issued Friday, Mrs. Simpson Miller expressed concern with the situation, calling it a violation of human rights and international law. The joint communique between Jamaica and Haiti came out of President Michel Martelly's three-day state visit to Jamaica from November 13 to 15. The delegations also agreed to review the Framework Agreement for Development Cooperation between the government of Jamaica and the Republic of Haiti, which was signed in 1997. The aim is to implement specific programs and initiate further cooperation in the related fields. Meanwhile, Youth and Culture Minister Lisa Hanna has asserted that Jamaica stands ready to reset its approach to cultural cooperation with Haiti for mutually beneficial development. She was addressing the cultural evening held in honor of the Haitian president last week.
Our ability to reconstruct our future must first begin by reconstructing our own approaches, our dialogue, and acceptance that we need the force of togetherness to get the job done.
President Michel Martelly left the island on Friday, November 15. Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller has officially opened a newly upgraded health center serving more than 20,000 residents of communities in southwest St. Andrew and its environs. The Oak Glade Health Center was retrofitted and equipped at a cost of $33.98 million by the National Health Fund and the Chase Fund. At the official opening, the Prime Minister assured residents that the facility would be further expanded in very short order and said similar intervention would be made in other communities.
Proper health care is not an option, it's an imperative. But we should try to take health care to the people in their natural environment or very close to their natural environment.
Health Minister Dr. Fenton Ferguson supported the point, adding that the project was in keeping with his ministry's plans to develop primary health care.
We have been moving forward with this across the island. So far, we have completed over 100 health centers.
About 1,000 tertiary level students enrolled in the program of advancement through health and education path are set to benefit from scholarships to complete their studies. The government is providing $100 million to offset tuition fees, boarding costs, or book expenses for the students. A memorandum of understanding was recently signed between the Ministry of Labor and Social Security and the 18 institutions through which the bursaries would be offered.
This investment ensures that some of the nation's brightest and most innovative minds are not left behind because of poverty.
To qualify for the bursary, students should have been a PATH beneficiary while in high school, be in their second, third, or fourth year at an accredited university, and received a grade point average of 3.0 or above in their first year. Students can apply for the bursaries at their respective institutions, and payments will only be made after the Labor Ministry approves. With the government's economic reform program reaping tangible results, the public sector is being urged to help make Jamaica more business-friendly. Pointing to a second successful IMF review and slight economic growth last quarter, Minister with responsibility for the public service, Horace Daly, says government has indicated a clear policy direction for the economy and it's up to civil servants to implement it.
To transform the public sector, you have to transform it to make it more responsive to the service that it gives to the public, the people who we serve each day, and to make Jamaica competitive.
Minister Daly was speaking at the official launch of Civil Service Week, which is being celebrated from November 17 to 22 under the theme Transformation and Renewal for a Better Tomorrow. At the recent launch, the Jamaica Information Services Director of Production, Enthros Campbell, was crowned Civil Servant of the Year. Ms. Campbell has served the JIS for roughly 2 decades as a radio producer, radio manager, television manager, and now Director of Production. She was awarded for demonstrating full commitment to the public service by carrying out her duties in a professional and efficient manner. And finally, Industry Minister Anthony Hilton is encouraging business people to attend the Global Entrepreneurship Week GEW events to gain valuable information on the recently launched MSME and entrepreneurship policy. Speaking at a recent GIS think tank session, Minister Hilton said business stakeholders may lose out on opportunities if they did not familiarize themselves with the entrepreneurship policy.
Some of the big initiatives relating to the growth agenda of the government of Jamaica is directly linked to this policy.
Global Entrepreneurship Week is being observed for the first time in Jamaica from November 18 to 23 under the theme Transforming Ideas into Real Business. There are a number of business clinics being planned as well as a business startup expo on Friday, November 22 at the Terra Nova Hotel in St. Andrew. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Samantha Allen. Thanks for watching.
Hello everyone, I am Zondre Mohansi, OCR Associate Child Ambassador for Region 6, Clarendon and St. Catherine. As a participant in the OCR's Child Participation Program, it is my role to be the voice of the OCR in advocating for the rights of our nation's children. I am imploring all our youths to exercise their right of participation, especially now in Youth Month, and remember to care and protect, not harm and neglect our nation's children.
From rolling out the red carpet for our Haitian neighbors to sending condolences to the victims of Typhoon Haiyan in the Philippines, Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller and her team of officers in the Office of the Prime Minister were kept busy all last week. A roundup of some of those engagements next.
Deepening cooperation with Haiti, congratulating a former Prime Minister on a well-deserved tribute, and improving health care for one community. You're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller headed bilateral, regional and multilateral discussions with Haitian President Michel Martelly for 3 days last week. President Martelly, who was on a state visit to the island, arrived on Wednesday and was whisked away to Vale Royal for a reception hosted by Mrs. Simpson Miller. At the function, the Prime Minister pledged the government's support for Haiti.
I can assure you that you have the support of my government in any area that we can give assistance to our brothers and sisters in Haiti.
Bilateral talks on Thursday focused on deepening cooperation in trade and investment, security, sport, agriculture, education and tourism. At a press briefing that followed, Mrs. Simpson Miller said Jamaica would continue to assist Haiti to achieve its development goals.
And we will explore together the greater opportunities for growth and development of both our countries.
Jamaica has offered 6 scholarships to the people of Haiti, 4 tenable at the Heart Trust NTA and 2 at the College of Agriculture, Science and Education. In a joint communique issued Friday, both countries agreed to review the Framework Agreement for Development Cooperation, which was signed in 1997. Mr. Martelly left the island Friday.
You deserve this and much more. for your contribution to our country and our country's development thus far.
Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller expressing her heartfelt congratulations to former Prime Minister Edward Seaga Sunday as the corporate office of the Heart Trust NTA was renamed in his honor. Mrs. Simpson Miller thanked Mr. Seaga for establishing the National Training Agency in 1982 and urged persons to continue to improve on the programs offered.
We must create a confident, educated Jamaican population and complete the reformation of the education system. From this, we must construct a world-class Jamaican workforce driven by creativity and innovation.
Prime Minister Simpson Miller welcomed Richard Azan back to her cabinet last week. Mr. Azan was sworn in on Thursday morning as Minister of State in the Ministry of Transport, Works and Housing at King's House. Speaking after the function, Information Minister Senator Sandria Faulkner said Mr. Azan was an asset to the Portia Simpson Miller-led administration.
Everybody knows he's a hands-on person, and he was certainly missed because he did so much work in his portfolio assignment.
The center is your center. You have a responsibility to ensure the security, the protection of the center.
Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller encouraging residents in and around the Oak Glades Health Center in Della Creek Park, St. Andrew to take care of the newly renovated facility. At Friday's official opening, Mrs. Simpson Miller called on the 20,000 beneficiaries to support themselves by protecting the health facility. The center was recently upgraded at a cost of $33.98 million, which was used to purchase equipment to retrofit the building. The funds were garnered from the National Health Fund, the Chase Fund, and the Ministry of Health. And in sport, Jamaica's track and field athletes were the toast of the international community as 100 and 200-meter runners Usain Bolt and Shelly Fraser-Price walked away with the IAAF's Athlete of the Year award. In her congratulatory letter, Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller said this latest outstanding accomplishment served to further cement Jamaica's top ranking and extraordinary position in the world of athletics. Jamaica became the first country in the region and the third in the world to hold the IAAF's Male and Female Athlete of the Year award. Last week also saw a minister without portfolio with responsibility for sport, Natalie Nita Headley, venturing to South Africa to attend the 4th World Conference on Doping in Sport. While there, the minister met with the director of the World Anti-Doping Agency, David Howman. Mr. Howman was updated on Jamaica's steps to act on the recommendations made by the WADA team, which visited the island recently. And while addressing the conference, Mrs. Nita Headley said Jamaica's athletes were among the most tested in the world. She also called on WADA to provide greater support for the testing programs of developing countries like Jamaica. And as the people of the Philippines grappled with the devastation caused by Typhoon Haiyan, Mrs. Simpson Miller sent heartfelt condolences on behalf of the people of Jamaica. Information Minister Senator Sandria Faulkner read the letter sent by Mrs. Simpson Miller at the start of the weekly Jamaica House media briefing on Wednesday.
The government and the people of Jamaica grieve with the people of the Philippines at this time of wide-scale loss and suffering. I extend our profound condolences, especially to the immediate families and relatives of the victims, and wish you strength and courage as you commence the daunting task of the reconstruction process.
And that's it for this week's edition of Jamaica House Weekly. Join us next time for the latest from the Office of the Prime Minister.
Welcome to the FSC Minute. I am Nadine Newsom. Today we explore issues related to insurance, and my guest is Miss Rosemary Henry, Senior Director of Insurance with the FSC. Welcome to the FSC Minute, Miss Henry.
Thank you, Nadine.
Miss Henry, can an insurer cancel my insurance policy before notifying me?
By law, an insurer is required to provide notice to the insured before terminating a policy. This can be delivered or sent by mail to the last known address on file for the insured.
Can a company refuse to accept my application for the insurance of my motor vehicle?
A company can refuse an application for insurance if the individual is considered to be high risk. An example is where an individual have had several accidents in the recent past, they would consider to be high risk by that company.
And if my insurance company refuses to pay my claim, what are my options for a speedy resolution?
The matter may be referred to arbitration if all parties agree. Otherwise, the claimant can refer the matter to the FSC. The FSC will do their investigation where it has been established that the claimant has a right to settlement. The claimant also has the option to go to court.
Thank you, Ms. Henry. My guest today was Rosemary Henry, Senior Director of Insurance with the FSC. For the FSC Minute, I am Nadine Newsome.
Did you know that women and children are the most heavily trafficked groups of persons? Even though the government has amended the Trafficking in Persons Act to include tougher penalties and more opportunities for redress, you can play a part in your own safety by looking for telltale signs of a would-be trafficker.
Michelle, what Shana doing now like how she leaves school?
Nothing. Song for me every day. But a man promise a job of foreign. Them a look about paperwork and everything, even visa and passport.
What she going up there to do? Who she going to stay with? You going to get a number for her that you can contact her?
When I ask the man, him says stop her myself.
I don't like the sound of this, Michelle. Might not take them one, take away your picnic. You ever hear about human trafficking?
Trafficking?
Or trafficking in persons, the same thing. Why you watch that video, yeah? See if it's it them go and do with Shana.
Alright.
Trafficking in persons by law is a criminal offense. Those who perpetrate this crime usually do so in unsuspecting ways. It could be a friendly invitation to another part of the island or another country, or even through enticing job offers. Persons who get caught up in this web aren't necessarily naive individuals, but human traffickers are sophisticated criminals who put a lot of thought into disguising their nefarious intents.
Not all persons who promise job, etc. overseas after graduation can deliver or plan to deliver. So what they do is lure them into thinking that there's a better life somewhere else. And persons will respond to it. What they'll do is that they pay the ticket and they'll invite you up. Once you're there, they take your passports and then you're placed in servitude.
It is at this helpless stage that victims are forced into unpaid labor or prostitution. The best way to get out of these situations is not to enter them in the first place. So the authorities are cautioning persons to be more vigilant.
You are not supposed to be able to get a visa without your attending or that your parents, if you're a minor, right? So nobody is supposed to be able to legitimately give you a passport with a valid visa without you having gone through that process.
Before you even reach that stage, you should try to get answers to some very important questions once an offer has been made to you. Ask, where am I going? Where will I be staying? Who will be responsible for me? And what do I tell my family?
If you cannot give that information out of this encounter that you're offered, if you cannot give that information that can be checked, then you ought not to take it on.
I don't know where I am. They've taken all that I had.
Doreen, I'm glad you showed me this video. I want to ask the man more questions because I can't let them take Sean. I don't know where she gone.
I'm glad you understand the signs of trafficking in persons. But keep watching more information in the program.
Statistics across the world have revealed that women and children are more vulnerable to human trafficking. However,
we see young, bright males, young, bright females, university graduates. We have people from difficult circumstances, people in the main who have been tricked, so it varies.
I also think any person who doesn't have
sufficient information so that they can assess an offer that is being made to them is vulnerable as well.
To protect all its citizens, the government has intensified its public awareness campaign. Persons are being given information to guard themselves and others against this crime.
We're going to be giving out some business card size facts on trafficking to the workers in the sector who would be exposed: customs, immigration, the police. So at a moment you get into your pocket and you have the facts, is this what I'm seeing?
We can identify persons being trafficked by certain behaviors being displayed. A person behaving unusually timid is one of the classic signs of someone being trafficked.
Persons who are leaning onto this adult, not like a parent-child kind of arrangement, but it's almost like you're kidnapped, but you are afraid to let anybody know that this is your situation. And we have to look out for those people who are moving around with no confidence.
I like when the government send no information to the people. It's stuck in my head. From now on, I'm not taking anything for granted. Thanks for showing me the video.
No problem, man. We have to share information. This is one way of ending the cycle.
This information-based strategy by the government is a cooperative approach with citizens that seeks to preserve and enhance a secure and protective environment for all. Now that we have the information, let us use it to our advantage. Our main source of protection against the trafficking in persons is to be aware of the offense.
Family,
school,
church,
community,
all important agents of change in our society.
They influence what we think about ourselves, our surroundings, and how we see the roles of males and females.
Let's all work together for equality for all Jamaicans.
Let's make Jamaica a place where both males and females have equal access to a good education, good jobs, the best healthcare, and opportunities for the good of the country.
Males and females are different, but it doesn't mean they're not equal.
Let's build a Jamaica that doesn't discriminate.
Become an agent of change.
As we continue to celebrate Eat Jamaican Month in November, we have for you a feature that's sure to motivate you to eat what we grow and grow what we eat.
Food. For most, that probably means the broad label for just about every edible item we humans consume. Now, Jamaicans fully agree to this, but in the lingua of the island, food is also a specific term for the side dishes that accompany the main course of Jamaican meals. You might also hear them called ground or grung provisions: yam, potato, sweet or Irish, dasheen, cocoa, cassava, and others that are staples of the island's agricultural output. Farmers, supported by government and strong private groups, plant and harvest these crops for the discerning Jamaican consumer and a reliable export market. As the world marvels at the lightning speed of the likes of Usain Bolt and Veronica Campbell-Brown, many have asked, is it in the food? Perhaps the yellow yam?
When we roast the yellow yam, when we roast the yellow yam, and we slice it in a two, and we slice it in a two.
The skin is brown, sometimes black, and some say scaly. Peel away the outer layer and get to the heart of its starchy goodness. There you'll find fulfillment and a taste that is as distinctive as the indescribable talent of our trailblazing athletic stars. More importantly, in the heart of our yams are essential nutrients for healthy living: vitamins C and B6, potassium, manganese, fiber, and iron. These nutrients converge in several varieties of the Jamaican yam, a tuber with off-white, purple, white, yellow, and sometimes red flesh, depending on the variety.
Daylight come and me want go home. work all night.
From jerk to curry recipes, Jamaican cooking is all about the spices sourced right on the island. With the support of the state entity responsible for managing all things agricultural, the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, Jamaica's spice producers are on the verge of stamping a bolder mark on the competitive international industry, with many programs unfurling to increase the production of traditional spices like ginger, turmeric, nutmeg and pimento, and non-traditional spices such as hot peppers and onion. And the possibilities are bountiful. Jamaica is a tiny giant in the world of agro-processed foods. Island producers are dishing out big, unique flavors, employing ingenuity and utilizing the support of state agencies to steadily eke out more of the international market for these goods. Whether your delight is tea, coffee, or maybe cocoa, Jamaican value-added producers have carved out a reputation for delivering only the best. Jamaica is known for its lush landscapes, revered for its music, celebrated for its track stars, and the world is hooked on our coffee. And it's hardly surprising. The species of choice in the Jamaican coffee industry, Arabic coffee, is widely accepted as producing the far superior cup. And Blue Mountain is the brand best loved by coffee connoisseurs from near and far, commanding high prices wherever it's sold. Let's take a tea break. Authentic, Jamaican, instant, Salada teas are among a thriving tea market that bags flavors familiar to most people and countries, mixed in with some distinct Jamaican blends. Now for another sweet treat. The cacao plant, or Jamaican cocoa, is a wide-branching evergreen tree from which the world-famous Jamaican cocoa, chocolate, and cocoa butter are produced. Local companies like Chocolate Dreams are milking the lessons learned from centuries of Jamaican cocoa production to turn out sweet delights for every palate. Besides being a pleasure to the taste buds, these products benefit from the many nutritious compounds of the Jamaican cocoa beans. From the mild stimulant of the caffeine alkaloid theobromine to its natural fat starch and the natural amphetamine phenylethylamine, Jamaican cocoa is a folk remedy for maladies from wounds to fevers, coughs, burns, and listlessness. Its fat, Jamaican cocoa butter, is used in confections, in manufacturing soaps and cosmetics. Sweet, medicinal, another Jamaican agri-pursuit poised for new investment, ready to compete with the best anywhere in the world. So, what's your delight? Whatever it is, Jamaican farmers and end producers are uniquely and creatively positioned to deliver. In this land of wood and water, champions are not just made for the tracks, they're also found in the fields and in the shopping carts of discerning consumers the world over.
And that's where we end our show for today. Join us again tomorrow, same time, same station. Your feedback is important to us, so please continue to send your emails to jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm. You may also send us a tweet at JIS News. Need to know more about the various national observances this month? Visit our website, jis.gov.jm. On behalf of the entire production team here at the JIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Pleasant viewing.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.